What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the Dread Pirate Dr. Disaster. And if you've ever known someone that you care about with a bad addiction or something like that, you'll know that one of the most disheartening things is when you watch them make some headway against their bad choices only to cock it all up by going right back to what they were doing. This is what we have going on with CD Projekt Red.
Do you know how to spell stupid? Y-O-U.
Just yesterday, in one of my videos, I used this image here, a list of major game studios, many of which had been big supporters of Pride Month in the past, but who had not changed their X-account profile pictures this year to rainbows and shit like that, because it seems that they have gotten the message from gamers that we are tired of this stuff. And down in the lower left corner there, you can see that CD Projekt Red was among the studios that seemed to be rediscovering sanity. All of that made it seem that maybe, just maybe, CDPR was turning a corner.
Wrong, sir. Wrong.
Yeah, it turns out this studio is just as committed to Pride Month shenanigans as ever. As you can see here, they've gone ahead now and changed their profile picture to this, a big old rainbow flag hanging out in the background of their logo, sending a very clear message to gamers that this shit is still a major priority. And as far as I'm concerned, the message is received.
If you don't mind me saying so, sounds like a real asshole.
This is especially disappointing, though, in the wake of that footage that we saw from the State of Unreal, featuring a souped-up Siri, who looked much more feminine than what we saw before in the cinematic trailer, but even this is being called into question now. You see, I was aware straight away that the video we saw yesterday was a tech demo. I even called it that in my video yesterday, but at the outset, they made it seem like it was a demo cut straight from The Witcher 4, a segment of the actual game, if you will. But now, CDPR has put out a statement clarifying that actually none of what we saw in the trailer is directly from The Witcher 4, meaning even Siri's face might not actually be fixed as we saw it. So really, this is what CDPR's demo amounted to yesterday.
Feast your eyes! Well!
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and consider supporting the channel by becoming a member. For as little as $5 a month, you can support the channel. Channel members got early access to the audiobook of the first part of the novel that I've written, a dark fantasy story called The Darkest Heritage. Speaking of which, I'm releasing that initial audiobook to the general public on Friday afternoon, narrated by me, so make sure to check it out. I've gotten great feedback on the book thus far, and the entire book itself will be available to purchase on Amazon in the very near future. But let's look at CDPR and the stupid shit that they're pulling. Somebody really needs to get these companies like CD Projekt Red an actual PR manager, someone who not only has the capacity to understand what the customers want, but who knows how to communicate and understands that there is a time and a place for one to share their personal political views, and when conducting business, that is definitely not the time for it. Back in the 90s, Michael Jordan was famously asked why he never talked about politics, and he said it's because Republicans buy shoes too, meaning that of course he wanted everyone, even people that he presumably had disagreements with, he wanted them to buy his shoes, and that's pretty sensible, but CDPR doesn't get it. So they went with the rainbow on their X account again, signaling that they are on a particular side in the culture war. And so be it. They have chosen to keep shoving insufferable shit into our faces just when I was thinking that maybe they might have made The Witcher 4 into a strong enough game that I would consider trying it when it releases. After all, as we saw in the demo yesterday, Ciri's face looked to be altered from its original composition. The cheeks and jawline were softened and feminized to the point that she looked a lot more like her younger self that we met in The Witcher 3. Of course, in The Witcher 4, she's supposedly a fair amount older than when we first saw her, so it's to be expected that she looks older. But now, her face had roughly the same composition that she had before in The Witcher 3. They were doing away with the man chin that has become so prevalent. It was great to see that she looked a lot more like herself. But now we are hearing in a statement from CDPR that what we saw in that demo was not from the game itself. Now, to be clear, as I said a minute ago, I knew that what we saw in this video was a tech demo. I knew that at the outset, but I had the impression when I first saw it that this was a segment of the game itself polished up to show off the technology for Unreal Engine 5. I guess I should have remembered that this is CD Projekt Red that we're talking about. They have done this before, of course, particularly with Cyberpunk. Some people were completely fooled by all of this, though. They didn't realize this was just a tech demo. They believed this was actual footage directly from the Witcher 4 game. Let's read about this in this article here from Insider Gaming. It says here, recently, CD Projekt Red took to the stage during the State of Unreal presentation to reveal the technical capabilities of The Witcher 4, which is being developed using the Unreal Engine. In a segment lasting several minutes, representatives of CDPR walked viewers through the world of The Witcher 4, showcasing what appeared to be our first glimpse of gameplay from the open-world RPG. However, in a statement released shortly after the event, it was confirmed that what we saw was not The Witcher 4, but a demo built using the technology powering The Witcher 4. That means the game's mind-blowing visuals and effects, as shown in the demo, shouldn't be taken at face value. Fans were quick to highlight that CDPR does this a lot, showcasing something stunning and then not delivering on what they've revealed at launch. It happened with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and Cyberpunk 2077 at the State of Unreal Showcase. CDPR presented a lengthy breakdown of The Witcher 3, showing Ciri exploring a gorgeous world, venturing into a town, and riding around on her new horse, Kelpie. It looked jaw-dropping levels of beautiful, but it was a little misleading. We now know that it was not gameplay from The Witcher 4. And then they show us the actual statement from CDPR in the article, and it's pretty dry and not very worth reading if I'm being honest. Suffice to say that CDPR was very clear in this statement that what we saw in this footage was not from the game itself. That being said, it wouldn't shock me if at least a good chunk of the content was pulled from the game, from The Witcher 4. The character model of Ciri, for example, is likely to be from the game itself. I suspect they would not want to build a new version of the character from scratch just to show off in a tech demo and prevent people from seeing what she actually looks like in game. So, it is still likely that CD Projekt Red has altered Ciri in response to the fans. It is quite likely that what we saw in this video yesterday is what her face looks like moving forward, but it's incredible how a studio can fix something like this, can hear what people have to say, and yet remain so damned naive when it comes to all the pride stuff. As far as I'm concerned, when it comes to this game, unless something changes drastically in the way that this company interacts with gamers, I am decidedly non-binary. But I'm gonna leave it there. Drop your contempt for the tone-deaf corporate nature of CDPR these days into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching me, Hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.